What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. I'm Lamar. That's LJ. What the hell are we talking about today?
What the hell are we not talking about? We're talking about all in. Now we're talking about Khalil Mack. We're talking about him getting traded. Whether you think it's a good idea, whether you think it's a bad idea, let me know. I think we already had this discussion. I think we
Well,
got pretty heated in this discussion.
personally, we had this discussion on Facebook.
Yeah, we,
but
yeah, we, yeah. This is the first time we're actually speaking about this. But I want to hear your take first, and I'm not going to interrupt you. Then I'm going to tell you how fucking wrong you are. But go ahead.
all right. So, all right, just to give you an update, yeah, he got traded to the Bears for the Bears got Khalil Mack, 2020 second round pick, and a conditional fifth round pick. The Raiders got two first round picks for 2019, 2020, and a third round pick for 2020, and a sixth round pick for 2019. So, all right. So my take on it is, first of all, let's start with the fact that the Raiders, as it stands right now, didn't have the money to re-sign him because they're already in financial issues with their salary cap. So let's start with that. Now you can get around that. You can cut players, restructure contracts. So that's not that big of a deal. But that's still one thing. Now I'm good with the trade because even as great as Khalil Mack might be the best at his position, but when you're already paying the quarterback and you want and John Gruden also made another good point that his defense he said that their defense wasn't good with Khalil Mack. So I guess his main thing is he wants to get more good players as opposed to having one great player taking up most of the salary cap, and then it's hard to build around one quarterback and one good defensive player. So my thing is, all right, you got two first round picks. So now he's gonna have two first round picks in 2019 in the first round, and two first round picks in 2020. So you can definitely get more good players that way, and he's gonna have and if I don't know how good anybody thinks the Bears are. Personally, I don't think they're gonna be that good. I think they're gonna max out at 5 or 6 games, and that's good enough to me. That's good enough for what eighth pick at best. So it's like you gotta have. I think you got a good picks. I mean, if you just look at the NFC alone, there's only a couple of teams that I can definitely say that they're better than. That's probably Arizona, and uh, I don't even know after that because everybody else has a better quarterback for one, and two, like they just it's the Bears. Like they're not they're not good. They're not good that often. So I'm not really thinking that they're gonna be that good. And so they're gonna have good draft picks. You can get another pass rusher. You can get another line. I mean, you're not gonna find anybody as good as Khalil Mack. I can tell you that. I know that you're not gonna find nobody that good again. But but you can't put together a string of good players and make your defense better as a whole, and which is what I would rather do than to have one great player taking up $100 million of salary. All right, you can go ahead.
No, go ahead. Are
I
you
think I'm
done?
done.
Are you
No,
finished?
I think I'm done. I think so.
Okay. Let me tell you why you're wrong. Let me tell you why. All right.
All right.
Well, number one, the Raiders, like you're right about this. They could have restructured contracts to to keep Khalil Mack. That's a player that he's just that good where you can build a team around him. Even if you have a good quarterback already, you can build a team around a good quarterback and a great linebacker. Like you can get a bunch of players, a bunch of supporting cast to go around those guys and to win games. You don't have to get the best wide receivers and the best. Matter of fact, I mean, who else are you paying? Just pay David Carr and pay Khalil Mack. You're done. Get everything else you can pretty much move around. But if you have those two players leading your offense and defense, you're going to win games. Now, the Bears getting Khalil Mack. Look at their squad now. These guys are going to win 10 or 11 games now. I looked at their squad, not just by the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback does run the team, but if he becomes a game manager, They have two good running backs. They can run the ball. They can pound the ball. They have a good offensive line. They have decent wide receiver with Allen. I think Allen Robinson. They have a good. I forget their the wide receiver's name. They have a good tight end, and they have a special defense. They got they got that guy Floyd. They got a bunch of great like borderline great defensive players that Khalil Mack's playing around, and they have a good secondary too. Not just like decent secondary. They got players on their secondary. They're pretty good on secondary. They're going to be able to move the ball. They're going to be able to take the ball away. They're going to be a really special team this year. Um, and if Trubisky plays better than game manager level, then they're gonna go deep in the playoffs. But I really do think that they're gonna win. I think that they're gonna win at least 10 games this year with that lineup. And for the Raiders, when you get rid of a guy on defense, that means your offense has to score a lot of points. They didn't have a good defense anyway. They didn't build around Khalil Mack. He can't do everything. Your quarterback does more than your defense. That's guaranteed. But
Definitely.
David Carr cannot do everything. He's going to put up a lot of points for playing in offense for a guy who hasn't coached in this league for 10 fucking years. So they're going to be the bottom dwellers.
Well,
The Raiders, the Raiders the Raiders organization are going to be up, are going to rule the day that they got that guy back.
I don't doubt that totally. I'm not against you on that. Now, and I think in the short term, yeah, they're not going to be that good, but I think in the long term they have a chance at being good. I don't know. Now again, I don't think John Gruden sucks as a coach. I think it's risky to sign a guy for 10 years and who hasn't coached in 10 years. But
That's a
um,
that's not it's a bad
it's a
foot.
bad it's very risky. But um, I think in terms of a general manager type shit, I think that they have a shot at being good by having all those high first round picks. Like their pick is probably going to be the top 10. And I really don't think. Bears gonna have to show me that they're good. 'Cause I don't really. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't think they're gonna be the
They,
worst
they,
team.
they have they have talent all on that defense. Like there's no weak spot in that defense. If you look at their lineup, like I'm going to take you back to Madden, all right?
Okay.
I I just I updated my roster. I updated all the rosters on Madden, all right? And I was just like, let me look at this. Let me see if he's on there. I was like, wow, they got these guys. Their defense is young too.
Yeah.
Most of the guys in the defense are like in their mid 20s, except for this guy. He's gonna be 27. You know what I'm saying? But they got a lot of young guys, and they got ex Giant. They got Prince Mukamara, and he's number 3 as a cornerback. So at least they don't have him starting. He's get burnt like a motherfucker. But yeah, they got a really special secondary. The only weak spot you can actually look at that team is a quarterback. And you know what I'm thinking about that team? That's Mr. Trubisky is fucking Jim McMahon on
Yeah.
85
I
Bears.
don't have. I mean, I haven't seen anything yet from him that shows. He's just a
He,
rookie
he,
last
he,
year.
he,
I'm just.
he just
I'm not really sold on him yet. I gotta wait and see. I'm not out on him. I'm just not sold on him yet. But I don't watch the Bears enough for one to even analyze him. So I just I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But
and the thing is, he doesn't have to. He doesn't really have to like throw the ball down the field. They can run
well,
the
nobody
two running.
nobody does that anyway.
They have two good running backs. You know what I'm saying? They got two good running backs who can catch the ball in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I could have that, if I could have that team, I would take that team.
Okay.
That entire team, I would take that team. Like,
Okay.
you don't know what you have in Mr. Trubisky, but I like that team a lot. Actually, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch that team this year.
I
I
am
like. I
too.
like. And you know I like defensive teams because I like
I'm
your
gonna watch
teams
them
back in
too.
the day. Huh?
Speaking of my team, they said San Fran was really close to getting. I didn't even know that they were trying to get him, but they said that
Everyone's
San
trying to
Fran.
get.
They said San Fran. No, they said they put a really good offer on the table, but in the end, the Raiders wasn't gonna pass up 2 first round picks. I guess we wasn't offering that because in the end, because basically that's what it came down to. Because I think Oakland, from what I'm hearing, was Oakland was like, we'll put out 2 first round picks, see if somebody will bite on it. If not, then we'll just try to see what we can do, work it out with them or whatever. And the Bears actually said, all right, we'll give it to you. So they said, all right, well we can't turn it down. So I guess when you 2 first round picks is 2 first round picks. My question is, why did they have to give them a second round pick if you're already getting Khalil Mack? if you're already giving up Khalil Mack, why did you have to give up a second round pick? They basically swapped second round and third round pick. Like they gave them a second round pick and they got a third round pick in return. So my thing is like I don't know why you have to do that when you're giving up when you're giving up such a great player, but
Well, that this type of deal only worked out for the team that gave away the big player one time, and that was with Dallas. And
Herschel
with
Walker.
Herschel, yeah, that only worked out one time.
Shit
And
only happened one time,
teams have
right?
been trying to get that ever. Teams have been trying to do that ever since.
Yeah,
Like turn around your whole roster by trading away a great player and doing all this thing, and
baseball
getting
baseball
like
does that all the time. they get
yeah,
prospects and just give away their very best player. Once they know they can't make the playoffs, they just give away their best player. I still don't understand that. Well, I guess I kind of understand because it actually works. It actually works a lot.
it works. It works all the time with baseball, all
Yeah,
the time,
yeah,
because those prospects turn out to be really good young players. That's how
right,
Houston got good.
right.
That's how Houston got good. That's how
Kansas
Boston
City a
got
few
good.
years ago.
That's how the Yankees got good the first time in the
Right.
'90s.
Yeah.
So like I can't fault them for doing that, but that never happens in basketball. Hold up.
Yeah, I don't think so. Basketball, the best player usually wins. Whoever gets the best player usually wins the trade in basketball. Like when you get the best player in that trade, you usually win.
I'm thinking about our team. How many teams have
Carmelo,
we made better?
Carmelo.
How many teams have we? I'm talking about throughout our history. How many teams have we made better through giving up our picks?
All giving up picks.
Yeah.
I don't know because we've given up our first round picks a lot, but I don't think we've really given up like the player that we end up getting for him. Who like is there anybody ever big that we lost out on?
That we've lost out on. Okay. Joakim Noah. Um,
Okay.
Thomas. What's the other guy from Chicago?
Tim
Tyus
Thomas.
Thomas.
Oh well, we didn't miss out on
Yeah,
that.
Tyus Thomas. Tyus Thomas. Noah. Um, I can only remember the for the guys for the Mello trade. Jamal Murray. That's the one I remember. He still plays with Denver right now.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a
He's
yeah.
the dude that he's a guard or whatever. For
Yeah, he's
Denver.
one of those light skinned dudes. With Denver. You know what I'm
Those
saying?
Lesky dudes. Um, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we really paid for it, so too bad. I mean, it sucked that we would go every year without having the first. I mean, put it like this: in terms of who they other teams picked with our pick, we didn't lose anything. But I'm sure there were players that went after our pick that were better than those players that we missed out on. That we could have drafted in that spot. Who knows? Maybe we would have drafted in that spot had we kept our pick. I don't know. But I'd have to, you got a better memory than I do with that stuff. But I would have to actually look that up. But I guess we can move on. So I guess if your name was Aaron last week, then you got paid. We got Aaron Rodgers got what 5
5
years,
years,
134 million, 103 guaranteed, and
103 guaranteed.
103 guaranteed.
Oh
And
wow.
Aaron Donald got for the Rams got 6 years, 135 million with 87 guaranteed. So um, now the Rams, they're just signing everybody. Like I don't like. I mean, now granted, they signed a bunch of people for 1 year, like Ndamukong Suh and who's the safety? I mean, the corner.
Has he been good outside Detroit? Those first couple.
Not really. I mean, maybe if you put him with that lineup, he'll probably be really good. I mean, he hasn't earned that money, that big contract that he had, but he's still a solid player. He's just not what he wasn't worth what he was making. So, but I think with that roster, they'll be
He was
they'll
so
be they'll be tough.
he was so entertaining whenever when he would do that
Like
that,
stepping on people.
yeah, stepping on people and then talk like, oh, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Like
I used to want to punch his face in, yo.
he was such like if you want to talk about wrestling, this guy was such a heel, yo. He was just like, I
He
don't know what
stepped on people
happened.
like wrestling.
He was like, he was like, thank you, Susie. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
And then he'll walk back to the locker room and do some dumb shit like he'll knock
He
over
probably be in the
shit.
locker room laughing his ass off after he put on that eloquent damn interview. I'm like, oh, this damn guy.
Yo, I kind of wish he was still good in doing that shit because that shit is so
Yeah,
fucking
that's
entertaining.
right up your alley. Yeah.
I love that type of thing. I just want him to do some. Remember, he kicked a dude right in the groin. Just stepped on his.
Yeah,
He stepped on his groin for no. He stepped on his groin after the play was over.
he stepped on somebody's shin hard as hell. I was like, what
I
the
think it was. I
hell?
think it was Aaron Rodgers. He did it to his.
He did something to Aaron Rodgers. It might have been that. And
And Aaron Rodgers was like, "Hey."
like he was just a real jerk off. I'm like, yo. But I mean, he definitely can stuff the run. It's a lot of he's definitely with the Rams with everybody they got around him. He'll be effective there. um,
I'm seeing the Rams playing the Bears for the NFC Championship.
oh no, I just don't see a place for the Bears in the playoffs. To be honest, I just with the Packers, the Vikings,
I think they
I
go
think the
overtake the Packers.
Giants, the Eagles, the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and it's just I just don't see who's gonna be the odd team out. Like I don't know who it's gonna be, but I could.
It goes up to I don't know what type of coach this guy Nagy is.
Mm.
I have no idea. If he runs his team, if he does the wrong thing, because like this is a team that you can see what's going to happen. You don't have to fucking pass the ball 100 times a game with this team. You can see like just run the fucking ball. You know what I'm saying?
He might not have a choice. We'll see. We'll see what Trubisky turns out to be. But back to Aaron Rodgers, like he's definitely got to face that Bears defense a couple times this year. And by the way, I got him in my fantasy team, Aaron Rodgers. So I'm hoping for a bounce back year. I'm not too worried about him.
You better hope he stays healthy. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
all
Like
I'm worried about. His collarbone just keeps breaking.
yeah, he's the type of dude who just gets hurt like every couple seasons.
And I got Matt Ryan as my backup, so I think I think I'm in good hands. Matt Ryan won me some money. I had him as during his MVP season, and last year he was
hold
pretty
up,
good.
hold up. Are you actually talking about illegal gambling on our show?
Legal gambling, yes. Fantasy sports is legal gambling. Matter of fact, they try to dance around that. They try to consider themselves not gambling. I mean, at least they used to. I don't think they care now. But I don't think they care now. But they try to act like they're not gambling a gambling site. Like you're a gambling site. If you put your money on these players to do this and that, and you win money when they do, it's gambling. And you don't win money, you lose money when they don't. You're gambling. but yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he deserved all the money he get. Quarterback. I'm never gonna argue with a good quarterback. Yeah, they're always gonna get it, and you can't argue with it too much, especially when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. So 103 million guaranteed that's a lot of.
And guess what? He's never gonna win. He's not gonna win another Super Bowl. How about that?
I'm not gonna say that.
I can predict. I can predict that if he's gonna stay in Green Bay, he's not gonna get traded.
No, he's not. I mean, he's definitely not gonna get traded, and they can franchise him twice if he tries to leave. So.
Or he can just say, "Hey, I want to get out of here, and can you cut me?" And they'll have to cut him. I have no idea why he'll do that.
No, they'll trade him. They won't cut him. They'll trade him in that case.
Yeah, but he's not going to win any more. I don't see him winning any more Super Bowls.
It's definitely gonna be hard because they don't put a good team around him, but
yeah,
he's really damn good. So like he's good. He's good enough alone to get you far in the playoffs. But yeah, until they start putting some talent around him, yeah, it's gonna be hard. So he might as well get his money. It's not one of them deals where it's like, yeah, you're hurt. you're hurting your team's chances of get your money, and because they're not putting a good team around you anyway, and you keep getting hurt, so you might as well get your money. As far as Aaron Donald, yeah, I was wondering why they weren't paying him. Because they kept taking care of everybody else but him. So I started to think that they were going to do the same thing that the Raiders were doing with Khalil Mack and just maybe trade him away or something like that. But they took care of him, and good for him. And I don't want to get confused. I don't want to get confused. I want Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack. I want all these guys to get paid. It's not me saying that they don't deserve it because they absolutely deserve it. I just look at it from both sides. Like from an organization standpoint, I just don't. I just think it's hard to build around when you got two players taking up like now in the Rams case, they're not paying their quarterback yet, so they can get away with this for now. So it's like now the Raiders. I know they re up Derek Carr. I don't know how much of the salary cap. I mean, I know he's not getting paid like what these other guys are getting paid now. The past 2 years because he I think he re upped just before the salary cap went up. So I don't. He's not making as much as these new cats, but he's still making good money. And like I said, the Raiders at the time didn't have the money. So, but yeah, all these cats getting paid. That's a good thing. I'm all for that. Anything you want to add to that before we move on?
Um, all right, well, Aaron Donald, he definitely deserves his money. I'll
Yeah,
give him that. I like I like the front four for that team. Like defense will fucking win you championships. That's for sure. They just need. Uh, it's hard to say what they need because
I don't
they're
think they need anything.
they're pretty much a complete team. They got
Yeah,
one of the best running backs in the league,
they got one of
and
the best offensive coaches in the league.
yeah, and you know this guy's been in the league for a few years now. Um, so he's pretty much a game manager. He's not going to throw the ball down the field and win you games, but he's not going to lose a game for you either. That's
Yeah,
what they're trying to. That's what they're trying to make him into.
yeah. I mean, and because he has, because again, since he has McVay as the head coach, who's a really good offensive guy. Even if he's not gonna be, a great or above that, a upper tier quarterback, if you they got a good coordinator who can put him in the right positions to be successful. So, and then all that talent they got around him, it's just a matter of, I mean, just because you got a lot of talent doesn't mean it's gonna work. Because remember the Eagles that year, they were calling themselves the Dream Team or some shit like that when they signed Awesome One, they signed. Who they had? They had a loaded roster, and
They had
that was the first, and
McCoy.
they absolutely sucked that year.
Well, they had Chip Kelly. You know what I'm saying? So
Was that
was that the Chip
no?
Kelly?
That was before Chip got. That was when Andy Reid was still there. I think Michael Vick was the quarterback. That was part of the problem too.
Well, well, remember what Chip Kelly did. He got rid of Sean McCoy,
And
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, who was
He's
by the
not even in the
way,
league anymore, is he?
no, I forgot what team I just saw him on. I was like, damn, he's not even. It might have been Tampa. I was like, damn, he's not even like talked about anymore. He was like, he just like disappeared.
Well,
But
he was never consistent. He can run, but he couldn't catch.
yeah, he's fast as shit though. That's about it.
Yeah, that's
um,
about it.
I guess we might as well talk about Colin Kaepernick. Nike, put out an ad campaign was features Kaepernick, the Just Do It campaign, like celebrating the 30-year anniversary of Just Do It, and they got him up on the front saying, what did they say? Just do it. It doesn't matter if you sacrifice everything, whatever. So I'm like, I'm totally with that. And by the way, Nike lost 3.4 billion in one day because of that.
No, no, it wasn't because of that. All the that's a misnomer that the internet just gives people, and
Okay.
people just run with it.
Okay.
Like it's fake news.
Okay.
Every shoe company pretty much lost money. If you look at Adidas, if you look at Reebok, all of them lost money. It had nothing to do with the ad. It was because of the tariffs that were laid out by Trump.
Gotcha.
But this is a perfect time to buy because all those stocks will rebound.
Hmm.
They will rebound by a lot.
Yeah.
So if you're going to buy Nike stock, which I suggest you do because they are for freedom. So I would buy Nike stock, but I'm not a stockbroker. So, but yeah, it's a perfect time to buy it. I really agree with the ad. The funny thing is, the NFL tried to do what they tried to do whatever they could to silence him. They tried, he won his court case. Well, he did.
Well, he's going to court.
Well,
It's
well,
officially going to trial.
it's going to trial. The NFL wanted to dismiss the collusion case against them, but the judge said, "Nah, we're not going to dismiss that.
Yeah,
We're taking it to trial."
yeah.
So he won that case. So now the trial is going to go on throughout the season, and
Mm-hmm.
now Nike they ran that ad. All the NFL had to do, all they had to do, was leave the guy alone
Mm-hmm.
and let the guy what was so bad about him kneeling?
Right,
No, what was so bad about it?
right.
People got butt hurt about it. So what? Let people get butt hurt.
Exactly. They would have got over it, and I mean, by the way, they were getting over it. Like it was basically over. Like he was playing for San Francisco. He was coming off the bench and he was starting. It wasn't really that big of a deal anymore. And then they just decided everybody all of a sudden nobody want to sign him. And then they start doing some of that to some of the other players, like not re-signing some of the other players too. So it's like y'all kind of made this come back by doing what y'all did. Y'all could have just let it be business as usual. Y'all know he's good enough to be in this league, so y'all should not have done that. Like he could have been with a team somewhere. Like
Yeah.
you telling me Nate Peterman is starting in Buffalo? Y'all would rather have Colin Kaepernick? Come on now.
Yeah, that's another thing I don't understand. And then John Elway lied and say, "Oh, I offered him
Oh,
money." Yeah, you offered him half of his contract when he was
exactly.
already under contract.
You want him to take a pay cut as a quarterback, as a starting quarterback who's been in a Super Bowl, and you want him to take a pay cut, and he wasn't even making real quarterback, but he's making a decent contract. He wasn't making like real starting quarterback money like these cats are making. Like so for you to try to make him take a pay cut, you're ridiculous, and then you're gonna try to say, oh, we tried to sign him. I'm like, no, you didn't try to fairly sign him. Like, cut your bullshit, John Elway. That's why your team sucks now, because you can't find a quarterback. But
Yeah, yeah. So like the way he did that, it was kind of like all right. Well, he tried to jump on top. He
right.
tried to pile on. You know what I'm saying? So and so at that point, it's just like now I can't.
All right, so take three. All right, so again, my take on the Kaepernick thing is, yeah, like I'm happy they did it. I'm glad, like, cause now he could afford his court costs. I don't know how much they paid him, but they said they paid him pretty good to be a part of the ad. You know what I mean? So like, now he can take on the NFL. By the way, Nike just signed a new contract with the NFL before they put this ad out.
So you know what? They signed a 10-year deal. So guess what? The NFL can't do a thing about
Right,
it.
exactly. They was like, all right, now let's put this ad out there. Now that we got the, because the NFL probably Dan Short probably would have went with Reebok or Adidas or something if they had saw this. But so now yeah, like you said, NFL can't do nothing about that. Definitely glad they did it, and if if you want to burn stuff, Nike's gonna be okay with or without your sales. So all you're doing is burning stuff that you paid for. I mean, if you could afford it, good for you. Go knock yourself out. Be mad. I don't know why it pisses you off so much, but go ahead, knock yourself out. It just makes me laugh, and I like when I get under people's skin who's just that much of a bigot over a situation like this. So anyway, anything else you want to add to this?
It's funny. It's kind of telling when people who are protesting a protest,
Yeah, exactly.
and they're more upset about the protest than what the actual thing that he actually is protesting.
Exactly.
So they're setting themselves on fire and ripping out Nike logos, and
Yeah,
they're
one.
they're acting like snowflakes. So
Yeah, one guy set his shoes on fire while he was wearing them, like an idiot. Did you see that?
I saw it, but I
Uh,
said okay, let him.
I was like, ay, yeah, what a fool. So anyway, yeah. good for Kaepernick, good for Nike for not being scared to to take on something like that because it's definitely going to be controversial, but they don't care. They're a multi-billion-dollar industry. They can withstand any any hit that anybody throws at them. So good for them. I guess because we didn't even talk about tomorrow night's game yet. So the football season starts tomorrow night. I'm gonna
If you rub your
watch.
hands together like that,
I'm gonna watch the shit out of this game.
what game?
Eagles Falcons.
For the
Falcons at home.
birds.
Falcons in Philly. Um,
Okay, for the record, fuck the Eagles. But go ahead.
I mean, I personally I think the Eagles are gonna lose, but yeah, Nick Foles is gonna be starting. They said Carson Wentz may miss the first. He may be back within the
He's
first
still
month of the
hurt.
season. Well, he got hurt at the end of the season. Remember, it's not
Yeah,
like he got
sure.
hurt early. Like Deshaun Watson got hurt at the beginning of the season, so he's back. But Carson Wentz tore two ligaments, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So you know, and he got, like I said, he got hurt in like week 16 or something like that. So or week 15. So they say he's almost there, but he may miss first couple of games or whatever. I mean, I personally think they'll be okay, but like I said, you never know with the Super Bowl hangover. You never know what's gonna happen, but um, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Falcons are gonna win by like 10.
I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win by 30. And I'll tell you why.
Jeez.
Because Nick Foles, obviously, as you have detailed in one of our first podcasts, Nick Foles obviously is the best quarterback in the
Oh
league.
boy,
He
here we
beat
go.
because he beat the defending national champions. He's the defending NFL Super
Same
Bowl
thing.
champion.
Yeah.
No, Eagles are going to win. Probably. I'll say they're going to win by 10. They probably win by 10 or 14. They win by two touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm not really too big on Atlanta. And especially playing against a team that has a defense. Um, uh, Eagles have a really good defense, so. Uh,
Well, a lot of people think Atlanta's going to be in the Super Bowl this year. I don't know why they think that this year. I don't know what makes them so better this year or whatever.
the
I guess because maybe this is the second year with the new coordinator. Maybe they think they'll be a little better. And remember, Atlanta did almost beat Philly last year. They're the only team. Well, I can say only team because, but they almost knocked off Philly before this run even got started. um, so it was a low scoring game, and I don't know. And again, like I said, I don't know why everybody thinks Atlanta's gonna win this year, but or at least make it. Some people pick Atlanta, Pittsburgh. I do think Pittsburgh is gonna make it. Something tells me Pittsburgh is gonna make it to the Super Bowl this year. I don't know about Atlanta. I really don't know who coming out of the NFC, but I would say the Rams or the Eagles. That's who I would guess off the top of my head, Rams or Eagles. But I do think Atlanta's gonna win this game. I think Eagles got a little bit full of themselves, and um, I just think they're gonna take a step back early. But I think if they make it to the playoffs, they'll still be the same threat. I just think that them being now targeted, they're gonna have to realize that they're not the underdogs anymore, and the party's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. They're raising the banners. They're playing in Philly, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to be raising the banners, and usually when teams raise the banners and they play the first home game, they light it up. That's typically, but
Sometimes.
like I can't remember a
I'm
team
sorry.
losing
You're
their
right.
first game.
You're right. In football, you're right. You're right. In football, you're right. Basketball, it's the other way around. Basketball team come out flat. Like they had a little ceremony before the game and they fall and they come out flat sometimes in basketball. Football, you're right. I think usually they come out.
Yeah, football they come out fired up, but um, it all depends if they start their season at home. Most of the time, they start the season on the road.
Mm.
Um, I, I can remember, for some reason, I just remember the Saints their first game after they won the Super Bowl, and they just like beat the shit out of whoever they were playing against.
I can't remember that far back.
Yeah, that, for some reason, like that just pops in my mind. You know,
Mm,
they were that's the first Super Bowl they ever won, and they came out and they tried to kill the other team.
yeah. Um, I know a lot. I know sometimes a team will start out strong like that, and then they fall flat the rest of the season. Like they be amped up for that first game, and then after that, I'm trying to figure who that team was. I was just like, man, like, they look so good in that first game. They look so good, and then all of a sudden they didn't make the playoff. I wish I could remember who it was, but yeah, definitely gonna watch that game. I can't wait for the season to start. Like
Who's the San Francisco guy? Who you guys got?
Minnesota. We're in Minnesota first game, so that's gonna be a tough one.
I don't know about Minnesota. I don't know about them. You got Kirk Cousins, you
Mhm.
know, but
It's
I just
definitely an
don't know about
upgrade.
that team.
Not a big upgrade, but it's a minor upgrade at quarterback.
It's an
That,
upgraded quarterback.
yeah,
But sometimes you can even get the better quarterback and he can have a good number, you have a good
yeah,
season, but the team just doesn't do as well. And
right. It's just something that the team just don't have the same. They're definitely not. You know, part of it is teams get caught off guard by how good you are sometimes. Then next year they got tape on you. They're more mentally ready for what you are. So, um, I mean, now granted they did lose. They lost their coordinator, who was supposed to, to the Giants, who's supposed to be really good coordinator. So, um, we'll see. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I expect. I mean, it's hard for me to say I expect us to lose, but I kind of do. I expect us to lose in Minnesota. 1 o'clock game. San Francisco don't play 1 o'clock games too often, so. But who else is playing? Who else is playing? Let me see what the other matchups are this weekend. Cause I know.
I know my Giants play Jacksonville, and um, as I was driving home, one of those alerts from ESPN came on my phone, and they said Odell Beckham is not going to let uh, you know Ramsey, whatever his name is, Ramsey's.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, whatever his name is. He said he's not going to let him get in his head and stuff like that. I was like, if you're already mentioning that, then he's already in your
He's
head.
already in your head, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean that
Uh,
doesn't mean he's still. Let's hope. Let's hope. It's just we just see a good matchup between them. I kind of want him to get in his head. I kind of want to see the. I mean, I know you don't want that, but me as a fan of neither one of those teams, I want to see like something similar to what happened with what's his name? What's the guy's name? He's with Washington, the corner.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
like,
think of his name right now.
the thing is about him, he gets into he got into even his quarterback's head. He got into what you call Cam Newton's head. Because remember, Cam Newton got
Oh,
into a
in
fight with him.
practice, Cam Newton was roughed him up. Josh
Yeah, but
Norman.
Cam Newton grabbed him, was just punching him like this.
Right. I was like, damn. Oh, did you know the Texans and the Patriots are playing? Like that's a good game. Like, how come nobody's talking about that matchup?
Well, nobody really gives a lot of credence to the Texans.
Well, some
Um,
people think Deshaun Watson's gonna be MVP this year, which I think is crazy to
I said
assume
that.
that.
I said it.
Well,
I said it.
well,
Me.
I'm hearing it on TV too, and I'm just like, that's a. You said that too?
I did. I
Okay,
did.
I don't know, like.
I said. You want
Oh
to know
yeah,
why
you
I
did
said?
say it too. I remember you saying it now. Yeah.
You want to know why I said? Because he was having such a great season before he got hurt. I was just like, this guy's really fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like he wasn't making a lot of mistakes. He was stepping AP. You know what I'm saying? But then he got hurt. It was just like, all right, well, like it's gonna be tough to come back, but if he does, you know what I'm saying? Like he has to come back with that same level of say that same level of activity or whatever. But
I don't.
but,
I personally think the Texans is gonna be good. I just, I'm gonna hold back on calling him MVP already. I think that's,
well,
I think it's
well,
bold.
what you go like? I was gonna ask you that. Who do you think is gonna be MVP this year?
Um, I could see Aaron Rodgers coming back strong and getting MVP.
I
If Wentz
think
was
he's gonna have
healthy
a
from
good
day
season.
one,
I think he's gonna have. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna have a good season, but he's not gonna have the 15-1 season that he had before.
Right. Yeah.
Because
And
he
by
just
the
doesn't have a
way,
lineup.
nobody in the NFC is gonna, I think, stand out like that anyway. I think the NFC is so tough that I think the AFC is gonna be, I think Pittsburgh is gonna stand out a little bit. New England, I don't think New England's roster is as good as it usually is, but that never really stopped them before. But I don't think they're gonna go 13-3 or anything like that, or 14-2 or anything like that. I think they're gonna probably, 12-4 probably. Pittsburgh is probably gonna be around that also. Um, then everybody else is going to be around, 10. All the rest of the playoff teams are probably going to be around 10 games, 10 wins.
Would it be funny if? Would it be funny? Okay, not funny. It would be interesting if there were like multiple teams with 10 wins this season. If there were like if every division had a 10 win, like what would they do at that point? It had to go by points at that point,
They would have to
right?
go by divisions. They'd have to go by conference. I think they go by head to head, then division, then conference. I think, and then after that, I don't know. After that, they start flipping
After,
coins and shit.
that would be fucked up.
Yeah,
That would be fucked
you
up.
can't decide that
You
way.
can't do it that way.
They might have to
They
play.
should have
They
a
might have to
play.
play
They
like
should
a
have a
seven on
playoff.
seven. Just play like a 7-on-7. Some old stupid football shit.
They should play kill the guy with the ball and
Do
shit.
do a do a Damn, how you made me forget that fast? It's gone. But yeah, y'all call it kill the man or whatever. We used to call it free for all. It has a bunch of different names depending on where you come from. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Have like a kicker competition, like how they do, like how they do like penalty kicks and penalty goals in soccer and hockey. Have like a kicker competition.
That should be fucking crazy.
Start
Everybody just
start off from 35 yards. If they both nail that, do 40, then 50, then some old crazy bullshit. Yo,
pissing contest.
yo, football players just sitting there like, really? We're using the kicker to fucking decide this shit. So let me see. Anything else interesting? So we got Falcons, Eagles. We got Texans, Patriots. You talked about your Giants and Jacksonville, which I think is gonna be a really good game, also. By the way, I do want to see the Jets because I want to see Sam Darnold. He's gonna make his first start. I'm gonna be paying attention to the Giants and the Jets this year. It seems, which I never usually do. um, who else? Cowboys, Panthers could be a little interesting, but
The Cowboys are going to suck this year, and I'll tell you why. It's not because I'm a Giant fan. I don't like the Cowboys, but I have no faith in Dak Prescott to run a team by himself. They don't have their wide receiver anymore. Was their number one target, Jason Witten. He retired. They didn't replace him with nobody. They lost a couple guys in the secondary, and they lost some guys on the offensive line, so they're not going to run the ball effectively.
all they got left was like Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Cole Beasley's our number one receiver.
No.
He's just not.
He's
a slide guy.
He was bad last year at the slot. He didn't have a good year last year when he had Dez and Jason Witten. So imagine now without them.
Yeah, you have a quarterback who's not really a good quarterback. He's not.
I don't
In
say
this
no
league.
quarterback. I say
In this league, that
I put him in a Alex Smith category.
I don't.
He's not as good as Alex Smith, but I'm saying
I don't put him in that category. I put him in the category of a guy who really benefited from having a good offensive line and a great running back. Who had all of Tony Romo's tools, but now Tony Romo's not there anymore, and you're going to see how good Tony Romo really was. This guy, he just doesn't have it. I'll be surprised if but Dallas, they don't really get rid of quarterbacks that quick. You know what I'm saying? Like any other team in the league would just be like, okay, this guy's not really that good. It's not giving him a big contract. Just get rid of him. But Dallas, being Dallas, because it's Jerry Jones and it's Dak Prescott, they don't have anybody behind them. They're going to give him a bigger contract, even though he's on a rookie deal.
Well, I think it's still early to tell what he's going to be. Yeah, I mean, you can have your opinion, and I can have mine. But what I'm saying is, as far as like moving on from him, it's too early to go that far
No,
yet.
I'm giving you a scenario. I'm not saying
Oh,
he.
okay, okay.
I'm giving you like if he doesn't pan out, if he pans
Right.
out the way
Then
I
they
think
then
that
they
he
then
will,
they're just gonna keep riding with him no matter what.
they're
Right.
gonna ride with them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's just what's gonna happen because that's Jerry Jones. He rolled with the coach that they have, even though the coach is not really that good.
Now,
He's just not.
now, granted, um, his son is in his ear now, like his, because he was gonna keep Des Bryant, but his son convinced him to get rid of him. So, we'll see how much influence his son has now. Because if he was, I mean, that might not have been that hard to do because, turns out like people in the, like people in the organization didn't really like Des Bryant. Like I don't know about the players, but like coaches and staff didn't really like him. So that might have been an easy sell to say, you know what, just cut bait from him. He's making too much money. He's not worth the money, and people don't like him anyway. So it might have been a little easier sell. We'll see what happens, like you said, with Dak and with Jason Garrett for that matter. Yeah, Jason Garrett he likes because he can make him do whatever he wants to do. Jimmy Jones
Yeah,
was
he's
winning.
just a puppet.
Jimmy Jones winning Super Bowls, and he got rid of him because he wanted all the credit. like that's just Jerry Jones. Like you have Jimmy Johnson, one of the best coach. Like at that time was the best coach, and you fire him just because you want the credit. Like that's ridiculous. like and
Yeah,
somehow
and he hasn't won a Super Bowl since.
right. And Jimmy Johnson also must add that he didn't really have much success after he went to the Dolphins. Right? Did he make the playoffs to the Dolphins?
He might have.
He might have made the playoffs, but he wasn't like I mean, they didn't have the team either. They're not as good of an organization, so they haven't been since Dan Marino left. Like after Dan Marino, they have not been good.
Well,
So you can't really.
there's one team that in this whole New England run
Mm,
since 2001,
mm.
there's only been one team that has won the division besides them, besides New England, and that's Miami.
The Jets didn't win it.
I don't think so.
I gotta look that up. The Jets may have. Nah, you know what? You're right because the Jets play wild card games,
Yeah,
so they
they
probably
play
didn't.
wild card games, but
Yeah.
Miami won it once. That was when they had Sperano and Chad
I,
Pennington
I,
was on the
I
Wildcat.
remember that right. That was the year New England didn't make the playoffs because they both
Yep.
I think they both was 11-5 and Miami won the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How you could be
It,
11 and
it, it,
5
it,
and not make the playoffs? I didn't think that was
it,
possible. I didn't think it was like mathematically possible to be 11-5 and not make it. Like before that, I never saw 10-16 not make it. Now since then it's happened, but I think before that, I don't think I've even seen a 10-16 not make it.
we did. That happened to the Giants a couple years ago with Tom
Well, no,
Coughlin.
before that though, before New England didn't make it. It,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
happened. It happened since then a few times, but
yeah.
before that, I was like, damn, they won 11 games and didn't make it. Like, cause I never really paid much attention to the standings that much. Well, I didn't pay attention to the playoff picture. I saw New England had 10 when they had 10 wins. I just assumed they were gonna be in. I didn't look at to see who else was gonna not be in. I just knew like they're gonna have 11 wins. They're gonna be in. And then when I started hearing that they might not make it, I'm like, I didn't pay much attention to that even. I was just like, they can't not make it. They already have 10 wins. They win one more to have 11. Like, and then they didn't make it. I had to look. I was like, wait a minute. Like, what happened? How is this possible? I just couldn't believe it because I still can't believe that happened. Like that, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know it was mathematically possible. So,
Well, the Jets did win in 2002. Because remember, the New England didn't make the playoffs in 2002.
oh right, that was the year they didn't make it. Right, and the
Yeah,
Jets,
and the Jets were 9-7.
and they won that division at 9-7.
They won a division at 9-7.
Yuck. And I think they beat Peyton Manning that year, right, to get to the
Yep.
AFC Championship, and then they lost to Pittsburgh. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We got a Super Bowl rematch from a few years ago. Seahawks and Broncos. Like that game was so not what it was.
That game's gonna suck.
We got Raiders and Rams. We got Bears Packers. That could be a little interesting now if the Bears are as good as you say they are. And by the way, Bears and Packers matchups to me have always sucked. Like I never gave two shits about those teams playing each other, even though they hype those two teams up every year when they play. they put them on Monday night or like this game is on Sunday night. I'm just like, all right, I'll watch
Well,
it because it's the beginning of the season, but I never gave two shits about Packers Bears.
well, that's because the Bears, in our lifetime, the Bears have never had a good quarterback.
Right.
Jay Cutler was not a good quarterback. He
Nope.
does not count.
Nope.
All
You're
right.
right about
So the
that.
Bears have never, ever, ever, never in my lifetime, I've never seen the Bears have a good quarterback ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even a decent one. Not one not one that has made a Pro Bowl or nothing like that. Well, maybe Jay Cutler made a Pro Bowl, but I don't think he did. But who cares?
I doubt it.
I doubt he's ever made the Pro Bowl. But like, how do you go for so long without getting a quarterback? That's over 30 some odd years without getting a quarterback,
Damn the
a
Dolphins.
franchise quarterback.
Damn the Dolphins. The Jets finally looks like, well, it still remains to be seen, but I think they got one. But those three teams, like, are just teams that
The
just never.
Dolphins.
Jet, yeah,
The Dolphins. They had one in my lifetime. The Jets. They had Vinny Testaverde in my lifetime, who was a franchise quarterback. He wasn't great, but he was a franchise
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. Okay, I guess you could. Yeah, you're right. The
You
Bears have
know,
not had
the Bears haven't had
anything to
one.
write home about.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
despite that, they've been in the playoffs a few times. They've even been in the Super Bowl.
Rex Grossman with Rex fucking
And
Grossman.
who was the other guy? Because Grossman got hurt. Yeah, the other guy, I forgot. Who.
I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah, he's not important. Anyway,
Yeah,
even the Steelers and Browns is something worth checking out. I'm gonna have to go to a sports bar this Sunday and just try to watch as many games as I can possibly watch. Like there's a lot, like because I want to see what the Browns look like. I'm interested in the Browns this year. I'm interested in Giants, Jets. I'm interested in all of the teams with rookie quarterbacks. Like it's just I'm gonna check out the Bears a little bit just because for some reason people think they're gonna be decent. So I'm gonna check them out.
well, but before we forget, it just dawned upon me that I was talking about my team, the Giants, and we didn't talk about us just cutting Davis Webb.
Oh yeah, and the Jets picked him up.
And just picked up for the practice squad.
Yeah,
Like that shocked me because
yeah,
I thought that he was the heir apparent to Eli, even though he's a third round pick.
right.
He looked really good in the preseason. Like he took most of the snaps. He's the only one who didn't have an interception. Well, he's the only one who had a few touchdowns. He's
Mm.
threw a few touchdowns in. So I was like, okay. They took him out. I was like, all right, well, they don't want to get hurt for the season. He may have a step in. Then they just cut him. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
and,
Okay.
then he wasn't claimed by anybody in the waivers. They let him go all the way through the waivers. Nobody claimed him, and the Jets just picked him up for the practice squad. I was like, somebody knows something about this guy.
Yeah, yeah, something ain't right. So now, I did read an article earlier today that said that that the coach liked the other guy, whoever the guy.
Laudetta.
Yeah, he said he likes that he can push the ball up the field better than Davis Webb. He said this is what he was saying. He said he likes his the way he they say he's better at reading the defense and just reading the situations. I'm like, damn, better than a guy who's been in the league a couple of years already.
A lot of things that are going around saying that Gettleman, that's the GM,
That's
not
the
new
GM, right.
GM. As a GM for the Giants. They said he had a lot of problems. Like he had personal issues with Jerry Reese, our old GM. So he wants to get rid of the guys that he picked up. I was like, well, then you got to get rid of Eli, you got to get rid of Hotel, you got to get rid of Landon Collins, you got to get rid of most of the guys on the team.
Right.
So they said that, oh, we don't want that quarterback. He picked him.
Yeah, that's not a good reason to. Now, like I said, the coach saying another thing. The coach said, you never know who's telling the truth or what it is. But like I said, the coach said this. Coach said that this guy makes the progressions a lot better. So he
Yeah, I
felt
read the
inclined to
same
keep
thing.
him better. So all right, well, either way,
We'll see.
yeah, but I think we're about an hour. I don't know because we had to stop a couple times. We're over an hour and 5 minutes, so we're probably just about hitting an hour because I know I know we stopped a couple times, which is probably a total of 5 minutes of stoppage. So it's like it's like injury time in soccer. I gave us like injury time to go over. So even if we're a little under an hour, we'll just keep it at that. Um, yeah, everybody keep downloading that podcast. We the past 3 weeks we've seen major improvements. Keep going with it. Thank you for downloading our podcast. Um, what else? The email. I would really appreciate it if y'all emailed us every now and then. Let us know something. Let us even whether you like what we're saying on a topic, whether you like the show or not like the show, whatever it is, what we could do better.
please just don't spend. So don't send pictures of. Don't send dick pics, please. Just don't do that.
All right, now we're gonna get dick pics. Like
Yeah, I
I
should have
think he
said
wanted them.
that.
I think he just wanted them. Well, give me your personal email for that. but our email, I don't know if I should give out the email address now. But it's LemarandLJ@gmail.com. That's LEMAR and LJ at gmail.com. Our website is what the hell are you talking about .libsyn.com. That's what the hell are you talking about .lybsin.com. That has the link to our email, has a link to all of our social media, has a link to our YouTube channel up there.
And our whole archives you can go through and you know what I'm saying, look through them, see, like, download some of our old stuff, see what we were saying back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm much more wiser now than I was in March. So, you know what I'm saying?
Only a little bit. Only by like 1%. but I guess that's the show, y'all. Thanks for listening or watching, however y'all watching it. I mean, however y'all paying attention. Just keep paying attention, keep downloading it, keep doing it, whatever. The YouTube channel ain't doing so great, but the audio part, the podcast is doing great. So
the YouTube is what the hell are you talking about? Or just put Lamar and LJ.
Yeah, YouTube you gotta look up Lamar and LJ. For the podcast, you gotta look up LJ.
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right. Goodbye.